Hey, hello. Good evening, Ashokji, and good evening or good morning, masters. Thanks for joining, making it a group session and a group discussion that is always beneficial to everyone. When you ask question, that's when the real discussion starts. So today we will be talking about, kind of in the previous sessions that we talked with example. So that will be the difference today. So we will go over. And so I will start sharing my screen and we will talk about some examples. That means it will help you in understanding the topics with respect to a specific case, a specific example that is coming from basically Rob's book. So today's our session and we will recap with examples. Okay. So if we talk about the goal and the reward for true healing. So as we know, masters, that you are looking for a long term. So this is not something that, we are looking for some short term solution or anything. We are looking for long term. So that is first thing. Evolving to reach a place where you are always excited, happy, joyous. So that means you're not looking for a one-day gain. You're looking for a long-term kind of a permanent solution, not a short-term, just one-time deal. The issue is that humanity, we learn through suffering. Now the question comes, is there a way that we can avoid this? Is there a way we can learn without getting into, these over and over what we call suffering because of the same topic? So what's our aim? Our aim is self-love and emotional independence. This becomes one very key topic. The soul is trying to improve, increase the self-love. That means what you think about yourself. Because most of the time, this is where the gap is. We don't feel good about ourselves. It could be because we are blaming ourselves. It could be because of our situation, our environment. Doesn't matter if it is within the family, colleagues, neighbors. There is always, you can say that, image that you have formed about yourself. And that's one thing that is only in your hand. So the soul is trying to heal the false beliefs, the narrative that you have in your mind about you. I will never be successful. I will never get the job, or, I don't have friends, or I don't have this, I don't have that, or I'm not capable of this, that, whatever the story we are telling us, which is our false belief. As we have seen in quantum physics, those emotions repeated over time becomes, unfortunately, our affirmation for the universe. It seems like that's my affirmation, that's my wish. Because whole day, that's all you're talking about. And then guess what universe will give you? Exactly that. So this is one vicious circle that, you want to come out of. And that's why heart is very important, because heart is the center of emotion. Heart is where, your connection to you, to your soul, emotion-wise is, because brain is analytical. And to really get ahead in this path, you have to work on your body and the mind. Like we said, dissolve the ego. Try to eradicate your fear, your biasness, judgmental, ego, all these factors comes as part of the parcel, you can say, as part of the package of being human, in the sense we are an incarnation human body. So these things do come with it. And that's what we are trying to overcome. Anything that comes in the way of unconditional love and compassion, we must work on, because that is something that you don't want. Okay. Now, pre-birth planning process and free will. This is something that we talked about, and let's take some examples. So instead of becoming, suffocated by the negative emotions, you can heal and transform your challenges. The purpose is healing. That's very clear. And what exactly is your pre-birth plan? What is the free will? Let's understand that. So first of all, how this process works is, it's a group. That means you have a soul family. So it's a collection of souls who are more or less at the same level of evolution. That means you can say the same maturity. Now, they incarnate together repeatedly and playing every conceivable role for each other. That means out of the group, argument's sake, let's say there are 100 souls in that group. So not that all 100 are incarnated at the same time. You may have whatever, 60 incarnated, 40 are still there. Those who are there are actually masters. They are helping the one which are incarnated. But they keep taking turns in different combinations. They keep, taking a particular role in each other's life to help each other. That's the main purpose. That means whatever is happening, you planned it. Your soul planned it. No one else. Nobody tells the soul, do it. No, soul does it on their own. So in an example that what the free will is, so there's an example of a lady who had the tendency to defer to the wishes of others. That means, you will always let your wishes put aside, and you will always do what others are asking you, or just based on their wish. So before the next incarnation, the soul of this lady talked to soul of the other guy and said that, hey, I'm in my next incarnation, I'm planning to work on this emotion. I see you have the opposite. That means you have a tendency to, defend yourself. You are very strong. So can you help me? So the soul of that person, so for him, it was a win-win, because he was, some say, my way or highway. That means I do whatever I want. And for her, it was, I never listen to myself. I'm always giving up to wishes of others. So it becomes a case where they both can help each other. If they can help each other, the person, you can say the soul plan wise, she is learning how to stand for yourself, and he's learning sometime how to, it's nice to listen to others and agree to others' wish as well. Not always you try to impose your wish on others. So the plan was that at the age of 30, they will meet and they will get married. Now, what happens is, in the real life, when she was around 27, 28, 2 years before that target, somehow she gets the courage and she defended herself in front of the boss and said, listen, the way you are talking to me, the way you are treating me is not acceptable. This is not the way, and I will not accept. You either treat me properly or I quit. So the boss was taken surprise, because she never kind of defended herself before. So anybody would come and say whatever. He took a step back and started treating her respectfully. So now the situation is, what she wanted to learn with help of that person, that plan was to meet at the age 30. 2 years before, she has already learned that. Somehow she got that courage and she learned how to defend herself. Now there was no need to wait another 2 years just to meet him, get married, and learn the thing that you have already learned. So she moved on. She met another guy, which was the backup plan, and started learning some other skill. So you started that I will learn this, but there is a backup plan. That's what the free will is, that there's option A, option B, option C. So for such reasons, when you've already learned, there is no need to wait. And you say, okay, what is my plan B? And you go for plan B. So this is the example of free will. Now, when you're aware of the emotions, it's like, you have to take care of a child when the child is crying. You just hug the child, you just kind of, show some compassion and listen to the child and make the child comfortable. What we need to do when we are working on our emotions. Challenges will bring the strength, not the weakness. Challenges are not there in your life to, you can say, punish you. No, they are there to bring your strength out. Yes, we call it sometimes suffering. We call it, oh, I'm going through a very tough phase. Because, every time everybody wants only good things to happen. That's a separate story. That's the human life. That's what we always think. But if you look at your challenge with this kind of concept, you will feel the challenges are real good teachers for you. Rather than thinking, what kind of life, even if you say, hey, I understand soul plan, why would I selected this kind of thing? You rather thank the soul to select the challenges. If you understand what those challenges are, and if you can foresee that, okay, if I do this, if I learn this, I will plug in the energy gap. And as a soul, I am progressing. Your heart will be full of gratitude, which is a very high, elevated emotion, high energy, high frequency emotion. Then you will have very well, you will understand the challenge in your life. You will understand why and what it is, and you will walk on the path, you can say, much freely, much easily. Because now you are not in a suffering mode. You understand what's happening, why it's happening, what's in it for you, what is the benefit for you as a bigger picture, rather than just thinking of the short-term pain. So it's a long-term gain. Yes, short-term pain. So let's talk about karma, because karma, if you recall, we talked about there are two aspects: balancing of karma, releasing of karma. So first, let's talk about balancing. So what is this balancing act? Suppose you have experienced one side, every coin has two sides. So if you have experienced one, you want to experience the other. So let's take a real example. So in this case, there are souls like a mother and a son. So for the planning for the next reincarnation, the soul of a mother and son, now they are kind of asking each other for help, because the soul of mother is saying, hey, in the previous life, I was taking care of you. So the son had a physical issue. So mother had to take care of the son, giving up some other, her own expectation or whatever, because when you're taking care, for a long term, you have to put some of your wishes in a back burner. So the mother experienced how to give care. At the same time, the son experienced how to receive care. So the mother said, hey, now I want to experience what it feels to receive, because I have given care. I want to feel how it, like, to receive care. And then it will be balanced, giving care, receiving care. And the son said, okay, I have learned, I have experienced what it means to receive, but I have never given. So let's switch the roles. So in the next reincarnation, they agreed that mother will be a son and son will be a mother. Similar story of physical issue, so that the mother has to take care of the son. But now, because the souls have reversed, they will balance it. Receiving and giving care, they will have both experience. Now, it is not a must that the role has to be reversed. It could have been any other soul in the same group family who could have said, okay, I will become your son and you take the role of mother. It's okay. It's not that you have to switch the roles. No, in this particular example, yes, it was so. So this is an example of balancing. Another example given in the book is the person. This is about the child of the person. So the child was born with autism. And so the person was interested to know, why my child has this. So the answer the person got from the masters is that in the previous life, the child was in Nazi's Germany, in the propaganda department. In propaganda department, their role was to twist the facts, misuse communication, and just promote, the government's kind of make everything looks like good stuff for the government or promote, and but you are actually misusing your communication power. So in this life, the soul has decided to come because you misused. You want to now understand the true meaning, the true benefit, the true communication power. And that's why I selected autism, because that's where your communication power is compromised. So this is kind of a balancing act. This is one of the example of balancing. Now let's see the releasing karma. Releasing karma means even if you are balanced, you have to release it. If you don't release it, you will create another gap, and then it will keep coming back, and you keep going, receiving, giving, receiving, giving kind of scenario. So what is kind of releasing means you have balanced, but you have to let go. For example, if you say you did something out of fear, in the previous example, we were talking about Nazi Germany, and you can say, hey, I was doing that role out of fear because I thought they will kill me if I don't accept the working for the government, doing all kind of miscommunication and all those things. This is example of doing something out of fear. So you have to release the fear in order for karma to be balanced and release. So you are balancing by previous life misuse, this time autism, means you are understanding the true value of communication, but you have to also work on your fear. Let go. You have to release the fear so that you can release this balance, and you can say, yes, now I have completed the chapter, done deal. Now you'll work on some other thing in your next incarnation. So, for example, if you want to see, what exactly this the releasing thing is, imagine, in your house, if you have honey on a table, you will have flies all over the place because you have honey left out in the open. And if you're trying to catch the flies and release them out, you'll do really hard work catching them somehow and releasing it outside the house, but you will see then again more are coming because of the honey. So you have to take care of the honey. So its balancing act is, okay, flies are coming in, you are catching, and then you are taking them out. You balanced it, but you did not fix the main issue. So you have to release it. That means clean the honey, close the bottle or remove it. Now there is no honey. There's no reason for the flies to come in looking for honey because they cannot sense, they cannot feel, they cannot smell. This is an example of releasing karma. So for karma, both are very important. Not just balancing, but releasing also. So you have to look into what is the underlying cause, and that emotion you have to work on. So healing, the whole life, the whole pre-birth planning is to heal certain energies which are left unresolved from our prior lifetime. So in your, say, this lifetime, there are certain things that are not balanced, certain energies, gaps that are created because of our day-to-day life. You are fixing some from the previous one and creating some gaps. So what will happen is you'll have to fix it maybe in your next reincarnation or maybe one after. It's not necessary you have to do right in the next incarnation. You can do it after 2, 3. I mean, there's no fixed criteria from that perspective, but you are doing it for something which has happened in one of your prior life. So in one example, there was this person and he was totally, in the control of, or basically alcoholic. Why alcoholic? Because his plan was that the fear that he carried in the body, he wanted to express it as alcoholism. So the way he planned was that, okay, being alcoholic, he's creating the emotional pain. It's a pain for the family, pain for himself. And what had happened was that one day he drank so much, whatever he had, he finished all whatever he had in the house. After drinking so much, he finally surrendered. He finally came to the, you can say, the path of spirituality. So what had happened? To get rid of that fear, he went through the emotional pain. Because of the emotional pain, he came towards spirituality. And because he came towards spirituality, he was able to heal the fear inside him. So now one may think that, okay, why you have to go through the alcoholism and all this? Why can't you work on the fear directly? You have to first acknowledge the issue. You have to first understand, appreciate before you can go and fix. And that's how the incarnation works. We are reincarnating. We don't come with the checklist item that, yes, this is my soul plan, this is what I need to do, done, done, done. No, because then you will not experience. So this is an example. If you look from a different angle, you may have some judgmental issues, some biasness towards such people. Oh, this guy is always drunk, bad person. But actually, that's his soul plan. He's using this mechanism to create so much pain that he comes and, towards the spirituality. And after coming in contact or in, in spirituality world, he's healing himself, the fear that he had. Now, service of others is very good, very, you can say, the fast track path in the path of spiritual evolution. Ultimately, the soul is planning to, move on. And by helping others, this is really a good way. Out of the 3 layers that we talked about, first is your spirit self, or your, what we can call universe, you can call supreme, whatever. Then comes the soul self, that means your own soul. And then comes the physical body. So right from the top, the universe, God, whatever you call it, then your soul, you are part of, Aham Brahmasmi, you are part of the universe, and then your physical body. Physical body is must for the soul for this journey. Without that, soul cannot have any experience of any emotion. So in quantum physics, if you recall, masters, we talked about, the ignorance, including the false belief. We said the more you keep thinking about something, the more you attract. So if you have false belief about yourself, I'm not good in this, not good in that, guess what? You are attracting more and more of that. Also, we talked about in quantum physics that with the passage of time, we must have repeated positive experience for our false belief to be transformed. Because first time something happens, you acknowledge, but not fully. Another positive experience, now your brain and the mind started acknowledging, okay, I'm changing, I can do it actually. And when it happens another time, now the body and the mind says, oh, actually, I can do it. Now you're coming out of the false belief that I cannot do this, I cannot do that, all those kind of things. So that's why this is really important. So quantum physics is something that really, connects us and also helps in understanding how this works. Now, to be truly released, belief must be addressed at the level of feeling. That means emotion. You cannot just say, okay, accepted or surrendered, or okay, yeah, I'm not fearful anymore. No. It has to go to the feeling, the emotional level. Now, contrast, another very critical thing. The soul plans to experience precisely the opposite of what the soul wants to learn. Like in the case of alcoholism, we just talked about. The person first went to the opposite side, so much pain, so that you can appreciate and come back to what you really wanted to learn. Another example for the contrast scenario is that, you want to learn about, say, unity, oneness, consciousness. So you would imagine that you will incarnate, in a family where everybody is kind of, working for each other, helping each other, like as if in a monk family, like everybody is very spiritual. But you will see that why I'm born in a family where everyone is fighting with everyone. So the person was born in a family which was kind of a broken family. Everybody is going in their own way. And the reason was for the person to develop appreciation of oneness, appreciation of family which is together. Because if you are given something directly, sometimes we don't appreciate it. Something you get without any, hard work, you may not appreciate. But when you really work hard for something, you have a very good appreciation of that thing. So this way, when the person went through all the chaoticness, the person had very good, you can say, appreciation, value, understanding of what oneness means, what calmness means. So you come through the chaoticness, come through spirituality, come through kind of peace and oneness and all, and then you understand, you fill that gap of oneness, not by directly, because if the soul would have taken birth in a family which is very, say, monk family or some very spiritual family, and if you don't appreciate, chances are that you may go towards the opposite, because opposite attracts. Because when the family is so peaceful, sometimes, you're attracted towards the opposite side. So you may have drifted towards, all chaoticness. So actually life challenges benefits the personality or benefits the person, physical body, whichever way you take it. So life challenges are your friend. Don't take them as enemies. It really helps the personality. Initially, you may not understand, but once you start seeing from these lenses that, okay, I have this challenge in life, what is it is teaching me? Because it is there to help me, something. And if you decode it, you will understand the reason and you will start appreciating it. So life challenges, how it benefits, let's see another real example. So suppose, like, you have many years, you are in perhaps several jobs, you're working for difficult people. And you find working for these people really burdensome, tiresome. You said, I had enough. You said, I cannot take it anymore. And you start imagining that, hey, I'm winning a lottery. Why? Because if I win a lottery, I never have to work with these jerks again. That's what you are thinking in your mind. So if your life plan is to learn kindness, generosity, it's highly unlikely that you're going to win the lottery. Because the mind, the ego, doesn't let you understand the link between working with such hard, tough people, and sometimes we call them jerks, and learning kindness and generosity. You may feel your life is very unfair, it's very harsh. So what will happen then is, because if you just win the lottery, your life, your soul plan is, say for in this example, learn the kindness, generosity. These people are around you as a life challenge, as contrast. They are there so that you appreciate kindness, you appreciate generosity. Why? Because you're in the contrast situation where people are really after you or putting you in a hard situation. So they are helping you to go towards kindness, generosity, and all that. With the, you can say, the challenge and contrast, this is how your challenges are actually helping you. Suffering can be a mean of awakening. So don't think that, this has to be this way, because yes, once suffering, understandable, twice maybe, but anything happening again and again means you did not learn anything from the previous ones. So if you can understand what universe is indicating and you learn from it, you can avoid repeated suffering. So just ask the question, why? Let the universe take care of it. We say full moon, new moon. So yeah, why not? You just release the question to the universe, whether new moon, full moon, or any day. Let the universe answer you. When you're truly asking this question from your heart, emotions, gratitude, you are creating a vortex of energy, and you are forcing or you're attracting the answer from the universe. Remember, don't have any expectations. Ask the question, let it be, release it. Don't say, I want the answer by tomorrow, I want this, I want, no strings attached. You ask, no restriction, but you cannot say by this, by then, or as this and that. No, you cannot have conditions with it. So ask, let the universe come to you. And most of the time, universe will surprise you the way universe gives you answer. Trust me. And again, someone may ask that, hey, if it is so simple that, you are doing whatever was planned, then why don't we come with a full memory? And as we said, if it comes with a full memory, it will be like you came with a checklist. You came with all, like open book exam. Just go to the index, find out the topic, open that page, and then answer. But you won't learn. You only learn through experience. And you will only experience when everything is surprise, everything is a new beginning. If everything is known step by step, the whole life before you start living, then you will not learn, because you will be just going ahead. Yes, I have to learn this. Okay, I understood. No, you will only understand when you experience it. So that's the reason and it's a good thing that we are not born with all this soul plan and every detail knowledge. Yes, there are ways you can figure it out to great extent, that what is it that in this life you are working on. So very important, we have to move out of this victim consciousness. We feel so comfortable in playing this role. Oh, what can I do? Is the weather, it's my neighbor, it's my boss, not me. We must work on our, issues like judgment, bias, and all those things. Dissolve. We all have this tendency of being judgmental. There are harsh kind of judgmental people for, like when you see homeless person, or we just talked about, person, total alcoholism, drug addiction, any kind of such thing. And then immediately something comes, oh, he's a failure, or this person is this person is that, the judgmental thing comes into play. We fail to understand that that soul has picked this life, must be a reason, and must be a brave soul that you have picked such a tough life. So when we understand the pre-birth planning, our judgmental nature, the biasness evaporates, boom, and is released by an enormous respect and admiration for the soul. That if the soul can plan such challenges, must be a brave soul. One example. There were two sisters, and they went for a workshop to know what's happening, because they had a brother and a rich family, and they all got the properties and other wealth from the parents, and the sisters were doing great, both of them, but the brother lost everything, and the share what he got, and he was living under the bridge, homeless. So the sister used to think, what a failure, or what kind of life he is, or he's made of himself, what has he done to his life, and all those things. So when they came for the workshop and they went through it, they realized when they went to the masters and all, then they said, no, actually he has picked up this life on your request, because both of you wanted to experience, as a soul, that what the compassion, you wanted to learn compassion, and that's why he picked up this role, so that, again, contrast. You were all judgmental and all, but actually he's doing for you. So both the sisters were in tears. They developed compassion towards whether homeless people or people with situation and all those things. So you see, sometimes we just judge, we don't know anything, but if you understand what's happening, why it's happening, and sometimes you think it is, oh, wow, this is actually he's doing for us. He's going through this tough life for us. So it's a tool for gaining insight, actually, for your life plan. So this is today's homework, masters. I hope you are doing homework every week, because if you do, it will really help you in finding out your soul plan. So judgment is a very useful tool in finding out your soul plan. Ask yourself, what trait do you judge most harshly in others? Anybody in your life, what trait particularly you are judging in others? And then once you know which trait is that, find out what is the opposite of that trait. The trait that you are judging in others, most likely you had it in the past. And to some degree, you may have it even now. So this will give you some hint of your soul plan. Find out what is it, something that you are so harsh in judging others, and then find the opposite of that. Okay. And anger towards your soul, you should never feel angry. Don't think, why the soul has planned this. No. It's like, again, like a baby, like a child. You want to hug the child when the child is crying, not like, feeling angry on it. Work with the anger, don't fight. because whichever part of yours is already hurt, that's why you have planned such life. It needs healing. It needs that compassion. So don't be harsh on yourself that what kind of life you have picked. Don't feel you lack courage. I mean, you have picked up this life, so how can you feel that you have anything lack or less? No, you are a courageous soul. You have to let go your resistance, because whatever resists persists. Don't be in denial mode. Suffering will occur and it will keep happening if you stay in denial mode, if you don't let your resistance go. All this fear, anger, all this in life, dissolve it. We are here to heal. Whenever you are resisting any aspect of life, you are resisting healing also. Remember, your experience of life is not determined by our life plan, but rather how we respond to that plan. You had a plan, but that's why you have a backup 1, backup 2, backup 3. So your response, your thoughts, words, actions in every moment, every day, not like once, creates your experience and potential for your healing. Love is a great elevated emotion. If you respond to life with love, the previous resistance will become acceptance. Once you accept, it will really turn into receptivity, means now you are kind of working with it. No more resistance, no more fighting. Now you have compassion. Now you're going to hug that, whatever that emotion that you are trying to work, because now you have accepted it. Then that's where your gratitude, your acceptance, true love will come, and it will open your heart and really expand, the highway we call heart and brain coherence. It will really fill the energy gap in your soul. And this is what will take you out of this. So masters, this is what we have for today in the previous couple of sessions with examples, so that you can understand those concepts, because once you understand the concept, then it will become easy for you to work on. So back to you, Shokji, and masters, please, if you have any question to clarify any of it, please feel free to ask.
Thank you, Gaurav sir. Thank you as usual. And let's open for some Q&A. Masters, if anybody is interested in sharing or asking a question, please raise your hand and we'll go from there. Okay. Madhu sir, you are unmuted. Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the wisdom, sir. Actually, I have a question about, you talked about the service to others, right? So what kind of service, we can do, service, like in a spiritual way, or imparting, a spiritual wisdom and knowledge, or helping, some monetary way, or taking care, if they are sick or something like. So what kind of service is foremost important actually?
Madhuji, all the above. Very simple.
All level.
There is no restriction. All the above means whatever you may be able to do, because that does not mean everyone has to do everything. So in your case, you may be sharing your wisdom. In your case, you may be able to share some wealth. In your case, you may be able to share some time, right? You may be able to do some help. Sometimes the neighbor may be physically not in a position to do something, and you help someone with any work, just kind of giving up your time and doing physically, like that is a service to others. Again, not expecting anything in return, that's the service, we call it. And anything you do is a service because it's coming from your heart. It is pure, it is elevated emotion.
Yeah, okay. Can I ask one more question, like, which is not related to our topic today? Like, because I was seeing one of your session on PMC Gujarat, and so it's about the Om chanting. Like, you mentioned that, like, Om chanting has, like, it's kind of got a lot of power. Like, if we chant it proper way, actually. So is there any like link or anything like we can find, or you can kind of provide that actually? So
Okay, is your question how to chant properly?
Yeah, because you said on the PMC Gujarat, like so you were saying that if Om chanting is done like in a proper way, like it has a very vibrational energy actually. So
Absolutely. So sure, in 30 seconds I can just give you a brief. So basically Om, because it will help you tremendously in spirituality, in your meditation and everything. So when we say Om, take it as A-U-M. Okay. And when we say just open your mouth and then start closing your mouth and just keep saying ah, and just keep closing, the U and M will come automatically. You don't have to do anything. So you just keep saying ah and keep closing your mouth. It will become U, then it will become M automatically. And depending on your lung capacity, you just go with your that what duration is totally up to you. And this way, when you chant, you will see the vibration starts from the bottom of the spine when you are starting, and then by the time you are at U, it will be in the middle chest area, and then by the time it will be M, you are closing, your mouth is fully closed and you are still humming, you will see in the brain part. So I'll show you once, like if you just observe, like opening and doing it. And this way you will see the whole body vibrating. It is very powerful. It cleanses you. It really, like whether you say from meditation side, from your breathing side, it's a very good combination to help you in moving towards spirituality.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, Madaji.
Yeah, Manisha Gupta ji, you're on.
Namaskar, sir. Namaskar. Sir, I am unable to stop myself because I want to share my things. Can I share here my experiences from the last 15 days in the hospital, please?
This is all yours. It is two-way communication, Manisha ji. So please, all yours.
Thank you, sir. Sir, 15 days back, I went for a CT scan. Now I was very happy because I knew everything. I searched one corner in the hospital, and now I was doing Om chanting with my mudras. And now my doctor came, Manisha, today you have to go for a CT scan. Yes, sir. So some anxiety. Well, no, sir, I have no anxiety. Now he was very happy after listening it. And now after that, my report is a stable disease. My doctor is very, very happy. And now I have to share my experience with AIMS doctor and patients on 3rd April. But sir, I have very little knowledge. So I want that मेरा मन करे ना तो मैं इस प्लेटफॉर्म को ना वहाँ हॉस्पिटल में ले जाऊँ कि सर यहाँ से और ज़्यादा अच्छी इन्फॉर्मेशन मिलेगी सबको. तो thank you so much, sir. But I missed your last 2 sessions because both Thursday I went to hospital, one Thursday for CT scan and one Thursday for doctor's meeting. So can I get your with lectures.
Yeah, Manisha ji,
Last two lectures.
both those lectures are on the YouTube channel, Spiritual Tablets USA. So you can
Okay.
actually listen to both of them.
Okay. Thank you, Ravali ma'am, Ashok sir, Gaurav sir, Parmeshwar sir. Sir, I got a lot of things in this platform. Or I have no fear right now. No fear. I go in very picnic mood and now I enjoy. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Manisha ji, for sharing, because it is people like you who are showing the theory converted into practical. And that's why please share. Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Definitely, sir.
Thank you, Manisha ji. You are an inspiration to so many people here. Thank you. Yeah, Deepti ji, can you unmute yourself?
How are you, everybody? Namaste, everybody. I was missing all this for
Hey,
ages.
Deepti ma'am, how are you? It's been a while. You need to unmute yourself, Deepti ji.
Yeah. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
Namaste, everybody. I was missing everybody. Just wanted to convey my regards. I'm so happy to be back. I tried to catch up 3 recordings which were there in this group. I was not aware of the YouTube video, but I was on and off in last session, and Gaurav sir, as usual, puts us into that amazing quest every session. So thank you for everything. Thank you, Parmeswaran sir. Nice seeing you. You look more and more like Narendra Modi now. Okay, I had few questions for you, sir. Can I go ahead with my
Yes, please.
questions? Okay. Can we release the karmas before balancing?
It's a great question. See, if we take it as if it's a combined process, it may be easier that way, because it's not a prerequisite that you have to balance before you release it. That's my take on it, because you are balancing, and imagine while balancing, you identify the the root cause emotions attached with it.
Right.
And if you can figure it out and work on it, then the balancing will also be easier.
Right. So my question was, usually I'm assuming that people swap their roles in balancing. It becomes easy, right? As you mentioned, there might be group of souls might be selecting each other, but I was just assuming that swapping would be easier for balancing. But my point was, if we practice enough of detachment, self-love, and you mentioned emotional independence. If we practice and really master that, we will be creating less and less gap going forward.
Absolutely.
Correct. And if we have enough compassion for our role and the role around us, my thing was, why can't we release even before balancing it?
See, again, it all depends on what's the level of individual. And one thing comes into balancing is, how do we know that you have received and now you are kind of giving? Say, example, you are giving in this particular life, right? But whether you have received in the previous or now you need to give or receive in the next, that we cannot say for sure.
Right, that is true, very true.
Right? So that is why if we just take it as a bulk, I would say that is to keep it simple, without going into workshop and knowing what happened, not happened. If I know that, okay, this is the emotion I'm working on, I only know one side, that, okay, in this life I'm receiving, for example.
Right.
And if I can identify and start releasing also, irrespective of whether it is my first or the second. So in a way, you are doing parallel. Suppose if it is first, you are doing ahead of time. If it is second, you must do, otherwise it will continue.
Right, right. So we don't need to know whether it's first or second. My point was
Yes.
that if we have enough of detachment within us and we are playing the roles with compassion and self-love, we are automatically releasing that karma. Plus, at the same time, we are not creating more gaps for us to keep on recycling in this loop. Was my thought. I
And
mean,
that is
is that
correct. To
okay?
you can say majority of the part, it is correct. The
Okay.
only little bit, when I say majority, why not 100%? Because even if we work,
Mhm,
like for example, suppose anger issue, I may have controlled in a day. I used to get angry 10 times. Now I get once.
mhm,
Now that once could
mhm.
be an issue is still, right? I may be
Right,
opening up some new gaps.
right.
Unless I say it is zero, which is, in normal human life,
Ve-
it's not easy,
Very hard. Right, right.
right? So that's why I say, if we just understand the concept and then just go for it without worrying about 0 or 100, because
Right.
then we get into technicalities, whether I did 100%. Even if you do
Right,
90%, 80%, good enough.
right. Plus,
That's
I
what I
feel
feel.
that plus I feel that the key is in our hand is mainly where we can reduce the gap going forward. To reduce, yeah. So if that thing is difficult to implement, even though the theory part is getting clearer and clearer. My point is, sometimes reality hits hard and, you have little control over things. That is where I was kind of stuck last 6 months. But my point was, I always felt that, okay, I hope this is the last blow for me to learn something new. That is what, yeah. So interesting, very interesting topic. Now I know where the YouTube videos are, so I'll catch up on whatever I missed. I could be asking redundant question. Um, but I had second question that if somebody is spiritually very much ahead in life, um, some gurus who may have ability or awareness to see the past and the future, there is very little suspense in their life, I guess. And how do they release that emotion? It would be they still play their role in their physical life. So the internal detachment might be the key, I think, to for them. If they know what is going to happen and they know what had happened in the past, some folks might have awareness of multiple lives together. Then wouldn't it be very easy for them to release the karmas?
Trust me. It's like, in any organization, there is a hierarchy, right?
Right.
You can say from any level, if you're saying a manufacturing unit, there will be people working on the floor, making some part, there will be some sales or some managers and some directors, some owners, right? And everybody thinks the other guy's life is much easier. I am the hardworking guy. And above me, what they do, they sit in the office all day. So
Right.
doesn't matter whether you are master, super master, whatever we call it,
Right.
there is always a limitation of every level. There is always something that they are working on. Yes.
Right, because they have not attained yet the moksha. There is something
Exactly.
there to there.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
They may be
But we
getting
feel
closer.
that, yeah, but sometimes we feel that with a roller coaster in everybody, our lives, it is always a learning point at every point, but it is good to create less and less gap going forward to cut down overall time.
Precisely. And if we summarize it, if you can start loving your challenges. Start
yes.
loving your challenges.
Mhm.
That is an indication that yes, now you have started understanding this whole soul planning process. You have started hugging your challenges, means now you understand they are there to help you. You don't hate them. You are not scared of them. There is no fear. This is a very good state to be in.
Correct.
So without worrying about balancing, releasing, or anything, if we can come to this state, and again, these things will happen parallelly. I'm not saying it has to be
Right.
this, but at least that is recognizable.
Right.
That individual, like you can recognize that, okay, now, before I used to have fear or judgment or by now I don't. So this is a very good check and balance of your journey on this path.
Correct. Correct.
Otherwise, it's difficult to say how good you are doing.
Right. Right.
So this is a very practical way, at least for me, to look and judge your progress. And if you are progressing, give a pat on your back, continue.
Correct. Correct. Now, there is very little thin line between the self-love and a little bit of ego or selfishness. So, can you throw some light on that?
See,
What
it's very-
exactly, how do you cross that thin line? Because sometimes when we are helping others, we feel silently we are satisfying our ego in one corner, you know? So even that is also a reason for more karmas, both good or bad. And if we will still end up balancing them and we are still not cutting short the overall path. So if you can throw some light, if you have time, if you have more questions, I'll catch up in the YouTube video.
We have all the time for you. Trust me, we are in no rush.
Thank you. Thank
Because
you.
your questions will help. I don't know how many more others.
Thank you.
So I can only answer from my perspective. So for me,
Mhm.
the difference between ego and self-love is this giving me feeling of gratitude or feeling of aham? If it is giving me
Very-
feeling of gratitude, it is
Yeah.
self-love.
You
If it is-
answered in very precise way. You answered it right on spot. Thank you. That helps.
Well, that's pretty
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, Ashok sir. Thank you for continuing this journey. Believe me, I will catch up before you know it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. Bye.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Very good morning to all the masters. My only question is, sir, can prayers, group prayers for others and knowledge burn our sins or negative karmas? Because as it is written in Bhagavad Gita that knowledge burns our sins and negative karmas. And if we consider ourselves as a doer, non-doer, even that nullifies or neutralizes our past negative karmas. So please explain this briefly, and whether all this is right. Like if I continuously gain knowledge, do prayers for others, and consider myself as a not as a doer, and surrender myself to the Almighty Creator, what we call as God, Ishvara. So then can I nullify my karmas, negative past karmas and sins, and do the service for the creation? Just surrender myself to the Creator. So then can my past negative karmas be nullified, sir? So please throw some light on this.
So you have put me in trouble, because for sure my answer will upset someone. So again, if somebody's beliefs are getting upset, then I'm sorry, but I will just answer you
No
my
assumptions.
take on it.
No assumptions, Gaurav sir.
No, because you have put Krishanji in front of me.
But there's no other way, sir, because it's written in Bhagavad Gita also. So
That's why
I
I'm
just
saying,
wanted.
I'm just giving you my take on it. When we say praying for others, I think sometime it may have a deeper meaning, but when we say praying for others, and if I'm only praying for others, to me, it is good, but not good enough. Why? Because if I am sitting here and whole day I am worrying and I'm praying for the whole world, will it really make any difference for anyone? I don't think so. It will make a difference if I do something for them. I may do some charity work, social work. If I'm doing something, whether sharing my wisdom, right? Then yes, it may make a difference. But just sitting and even if I'm sending positive vibes, which is good, but what really means is you can only fix yourself. That's what I believe in. You can only, your karmas can only be fixed by you, no one else. So for example, you may have a lot of obviously compassion and worry for your parents if they are elderly, for your kids because you want them with a career, education, whatever you want, right? You are concerned, you have emotions, understood. But that will not fix their life. If we all fix our own life, that is the best way of fixing everyone's life. Yes, we must share the wisdom. For example, parents don't know about, say, meditation. Yes, you inform them about meditation. That's the right thing to do. Bring the knowledge, bring the wisdom, how to do or connect the dots that, hey, go here or do this. But whole day, if I'm only worried that, oh, they are thousands of miles away, I'm worried for them, nothing will happen to their health. So this is what I mean. I keep two things separate. But if I meditate, that means I'm meditating. It is a short way of, you can say, working on your past karmas, working on your past life, or all the gaps, energy gaps. The big difference between living in the moment and meditation is both does one way the same thing, but meditation is more powerful because meditation can work on your past life karmas also. Okay. So meditation is the way that you can do. Of course, when I say meditation, please add the yoga and the pranayama, all like, buy one, get two free. So it's a combined package. But the point is the whole, this, cleansing of spirituality, that part.
Yes.
Of course, if you continue, dissolve your ego, dissolve your judgmental thing, the biasness thing that we just talked about. Now you are speeding up the process. That means you are dissolving of past life and this life karmas. Now you are doing at a faster pace.
Decluttering first.
Exactly. But it is you are fixing yourself. Yes, the only time someone does for something and it works is the people who are healers. That's a separate issue. They are like, they do that, like, okay, they are sending the energy or whichever way, long distance or short, doesn't matter for them. Healer is a healer. That's a separate story. But in general, for us, when we say meditators, we should be only worried about ourselves, not for others. Having compassion, having positive feelings for the whole world, neighbors, your own family, extended family, that's a very good thing because it will keep your heart clean. That's absolutely good.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I should have put down my hand. Next Wednesday, I'll ask, how do you think about mass situation like Ukrainians, what they're going through the torture, right? Would they're learning something for sure, and it's but torturous way. But I should not be judging what is going on there. But like, how do you think the whole plan of those kind of situation might have happened? We can take in next Wednesday or based on the time.
I'll give you a brief 1 minute answer on this because I think we did touch base the exact same kind of, not the example, but the similar thing last week. And it is based on the group, what we say that, to overall bring the consciousness, the world consciousness higher,
Mhm.
it is not just individual, but it's at a group level. So this is being planned, so many people together that yes, I will be there. Like one example is tsunami, which happened many years ago, if you remember the Asian region.
Yes, 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 yes.
And such a high number of human lives were lost, which is very sad. But from all over, like different people, different. The idea was it really improved the compassion. The whole world came together. And similarly, in this situation, you see how whole world is coming together.
Yes.
So this is one big concept that yes, there are certain people who are kind of agreed that they will take part in the sense, okay, their life may end because of this, but it will help overall globally, like as a human form, as a universe, by improving this oneness, bringing the people all over the world together on a common cause.
Right. No. Thank you. Thank
Welcome. So probably we can go for the meditation.
Yeah, seems no more. Oh, we have Ramakrishna Garu, you are unmuted.
Yes, sir.
Can you unmute yourself? Yep.
Sir, thank you so much. I want to ask you a question, taking the cue from the two sisters and brother. Okay, they have done the soul planning and they wanted to learn compassion. Now, another example is, okay, two souls have taken a plan and that one wanted to be insulted, the other wanted to insult the other person. So this is their soul plan. So we come to the earth and the boss basically scolds his subordinate every day. The subordinate actually gives him a lot of the bad words to the boss. Okay. In a conventional sense, like before I heard about soul plan, I thought, okay, now this may add to the bad karma of the guy who is insulting the other people. But actually, no, because he's actually like a drama. He's playing his role to insult the other person. Okay. And there are many individuals you come across at different levels who cause some kind of a trauma to you. Okay. And then you emotionally interact with them in the exchange of words and thoughts and etc. Right? So repeating the same sentence. So previously I would have said, okay, they are collecting the bad karma, or you might be paying back for a bad karma you did in the past, your past life. But today's example, you are saying that there is nothing like collecting a karma balance out of these transactions. It is everything is a planned drama that is happening here. Is that a true statement?
So it's a very good question, Ramakrishnaji, because it's a very thin line between, say, then what is the bad karma if I'm just playing my role and doing bad thing to others, right? So that could be a question in itself, which I think what you're referring to. So in your example, if the boss is yelling or saying bad or whatever to the employee, and if it is a soul plan, for example, we were talking about defending oneself, right? Not always bending down wishes of others. If that is the case, that's why this role is chosen, so that, at one point the employee will say, no, enough is enough, treat me with respect, then that could be one scenario. Now, how do we know what is? It will depend if this person is being treated not just by the boss, but others also in a similar way. Then one can see that, okay, if we are looking from the perspective of that employee. So if I'm the employee and I'm saying my boss is treating me like this, if I look around and I say, yeah, even sometimes my friends are telling me whatever they want, my neighbors telling me whatever they want, then now I can see the dots connected. That means universe is trying to teach me something. What is it? oh, I have to defend myself, right? Maybe I have to work on my self-love or self-esteem, self-confidence, whatever the narrow down theme it may be. So whatever it may be, say my self-esteem, okay, then it will be a clear indication that yes, this is my soul plan. But imagine if it is, say example, only the boss, no one else. Now it will be a little tricky because now it is one-on-one, right? Now we don't know, is it the plan for the boss to get the pushback, right? If boss is getting like, multiple people like this. So it's a partnership, but which way the partnership is going, we have to look a little bit more deep. From both the parties, whosoever has this common thing is easy to know that, okay, you are the one who was mainly to learn, other one is helping you, because we don't know who's helping who. But the one who's getting common this thing is very clear, okay. And if both have common, well, it's a good example, then both may be learning. But at least one should have multiple scenarios around. Then it is very easy to say, okay, buddy, this is your soul plan and this is what you are learning.
Okay. Yeah, I understand what you are saying. Yeah, but yeah, definitely your karmic balance has kind of a, shattered or put a punch on the traditional karma theory. Okay.
See, the traditional karma theory, again, it can go in many directions. So that's why I stick to, the balancing and releasing concept of karma, because otherwise it can have like as many people, as many take on it, as many, versions of it. That's the issue with karma. And we fear with karma more than we understand karma. That's again my take on it. But we should never fear. Understand the concept, work on it is okay. But if we are fearful, like people will say, oh, don't do this, it will cause you bad karma and you will pay in next life. So it's a fear. You're fearful. That's fear can never be right. Fear is a low level emotion. Soul is always trying to overcome fear. So if anything is driving fear, that is one thing one should clearly see that, okay, I have to work on it. Fear should not drive you anything. People go to temple because of fear. That's totally wrong. Go there with a positive mind. Go there with, say, I am getting connected to the higher self, or myself, whatever, that's fine. But if you're going out of fear that if I don't go, this will happen, that will happen, then what good will happen to you? Nothing, because you're going out of fear, not by emotion. Emotion is the frequency, the energy which connects you to the universe. Fear is all pulling you down, nothing else. So even if you go to a temple, you will not be benefited because you are going with totally different negative energy. So that's what it means.
Very good, sir. So one last question. So about the homeworks you asked for, like you asked for your beliefs. Okay, that is one. And then you asked for repeating incidents in lifetime. Is there anything else like,
Today we talked about the trait, whatever you are judging in others.
Yeah. Okay.
Try to see which trait is it that you try to judge in others, because some people will judge others by the way they talk, the way they, dress, the way they walk, the way, it could be anything.
Okay.
And that will tell you.
I kind of smiled because I get irritated when anyone comes late to work. So I don't know where is that come from. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah, Rajini, please go ahead.
So, sir, my question is, we are understanding this soul plan. One gives an experience, like one causes pain, other takes pain. So these examples are there. But if you see mythology, history, or even recent times or movies, when some injustice happens, you fight. In Rama, he didn't say, okay, this is my soul plan, let Sita stay there. Or even Pandavas, okay, we will be fine with the 5 villages. They fought. And even Krishna told them to fight. So soul plan, how do you connect these two?
So again, Rajni
So
ma'am,
even movies, you won't even read these stories if they have not fought. If Rama did not go and fight with Ravana and got Sita back, you wouldn't even respect Ramayana. So even today, like Nirbhaya case, they fought, the parents fought for the case, for justice. So soul plan and fighting for justice, winning, how do you connect?
okay. So Rajni, a soul plan does not mean that, we let anyone do anything. Like, for example, here we were talking about
Exactly. Even for the Ramakrishna sir, he should not agree if his folks come late, right?
no,
He
okay,
cannot say it's
let's
soul
go back.
plan, let them come late.
No. That was the example he was saying what, like, when we say judgmental, so what really hits him, like he gets irritated when someone comes late. So that was his example. But the previous example we were talking about, say the boss is yelling at employee or employee, kind of arguing or whatever. So that was one example that we were talking. But that soul plan does not mean the employee say, okay, boss, you say whatever it is, this is my soul plan. No, this is not the case. And even in the vice versa, the boss is not saying, okay, employee, you can say or kind of do whatever because it is soul plan. No. So we are not saying anyone can do anything to us in the name of soul plan. Soul plan is basically helping us to understand what is happening, what is universe is trying to tell us. Universe tells us with some indication, with some events around us. If we understand the events, it helps us in understanding what are the emotions that we need to work on. The moment we work on that, you feel so much lighted from inside. You feel literally like what we say, divine feeling, a lightness. That's the whole purpose. But it is not to justify any injustice or any, the other way around. It makes your life pleasurable, or you can say happy, joyous, divine, irrespective of the environment you are in. That is the basic purpose of understanding this concept.
So soul plan is only for spiritual seekers?
No, for everyone, every soul.
But is everybody learning the lesson?
Well, see, we have universities, school, colleges everywhere, but not everybody goes. So not everybody is in contact with the spirituality. Not everybody knows meditation, pranayam, yoga, no. So when their time comes, somehow they get connected. There is like...
So I had this question as well. Now we have internet, we are so connected, the globe is connected. But for our forefathers, like not our parents, but grandparents and previous generations, they don't have this much knowledge. They were relying on the books or maybe some guru, local guru, right? Do you think they all realized their soul plans? The lesson, are they getting the lesson?
See, I cannot comment on that, but I can only comment one thing, that our forefathers had more knowledge about spirituality than what we have, even with internet. With the distraction and
more
all
presence,
kinds of...
maybe more presence and awareness.
Absolutely. Like
and
at
connection
that time,
with the nature.
Absolutely. With the word of mouth, the teaching used to be done. The gurukuls, they were more advanced than what we are. Today we think we have advanced science. No, they were more advanced.
Agree. Okay. So in summary, soul plan is...
In summary, to me, soul plan is irrespective of the situation I'm in. How can I be happy, I be joyous, and I can move forward, looking for the soul's development, not my physical body development.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Welcome, Rajni.
Yeah, okay, Gaurav sir, can you?
Okay, masters,
Yeah.
let's do at least 10 minutes. So, masters, let's do quick meditation. So, please relax your body, close your eyes. We'll do 3 deep breathing. So, deep inhale and deep exhale, whatever comfortable to you. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. So 3 cycles. Okay, masters. Let's start breathing normally. Relax your body now. So relax your neck, your shoulders. Keep your back straight without any stress. And relax your hands and legs, but keep them in a cross position. Now, start observing your breath. As you inhale, feel your breath from the tip of your nostril all the way in. And as you exhale, tip of your nostril back to the tip of your nostril. Maintain your normal, natural, soft breath. No exertion, no jerks. Very smooth, normal breathing. Masters, it is natural to get stuck with a thought during meditation. All you have to do is don't spend any energy on them. Ignore your thoughts so that they just fly away. If you do get stuck, no worries. Quit and start observing your breath again. Keep maintaining a gentle smile on your face because it will relax your vagus nerve. Maintain your breathing. And for next little while, continue observing your breath, looking inward, connecting to your soul. Just relax. Dear masters, let's rub our palms together. Place the fingers on your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Slowly, very slowly, take the fingers off your eyes and open your eyes. Come back to your normal self. Take your time. Come back.